This is Zach Bryant from They Live by Film. You're busy and I'm lazy, and all you want to know is if this movie is worth it. 2 minutes are on the clock, and it starts now. It's hard to believe it's already been a decade since Fede Alvarez's remake, though a testament to that film is how high of a bar it's set for this film altogether. Rather than taking place in a typical Tennessee cabin in the woods, we get the desolate beauty of a high-rise apartment in California. We do get a fantastic opening set piece that takes place in a new cabin that is an incredibly strong start altogether that almost works as this proof of concept for a new age Evil Dead film. Director Lee Cronin shows his inventiveness with the camera angles, and that was probably the element that impressed me the most, especially this one particular scene where we see everything through a peephole. It's both inventive and it's cost cutting, exactly what the Evil Dead franchise is all about. Even saying all that, this is the weakest entry in the series, and it's not all that close. Though credit where it's due, a solid movie being the weakest says quite a lot about the consistency of the franchise. Evil Dead Rise reminded me a bit of the Hellraiser film from last year. It has good ideas, it has good execution, and even has good acting, but it's all surrounded by middling characters. Lily Sullivan does a great job, but her character Beth doesn't feel like she earns to be in the same breath as Ash or Mia. In general, this film doesn't feel like it goes quite as hard as Alvarez's Evil Dead, which is a shame because this one really sets up being so metal with its main characters, the vinyl recordings of the book, and the new Necronomicon that has teeth and all. Which it's cool that we learn that there's more than one, but I also don't feel like it fully pushes itself to make the consequences of that book reading much different than what we've seen in the past. Feels more like a justification for a small redesign. That probably sums up my feelings of the film the best. I love so many places it goes, but it never quite does enough with any of it. While the film eventually uses the high-rise apartment to its potential, I was thinking throughout much of the film this could have taken place in a cabin and very little would have changed. Though thankfully the third act does end up with some great gore and a good set piece, the film does have a strong start and end, which definitely helped my feelings on everything. The film is a good time, it's just in the unfortunate situation where it has a high bar to cross to compete, and it feels a bit like the redheaded stepchild of the series. But it's definitely a film I'd happily revisit just so I can scream at the television, "No!"